"You should step aside, Alan." That sentence started it all. The voice came from Martin, his business partner. They stood in the conference room of their small tech firm. Papers spread across the glass table. The city noise filtered through the tinted windows. Alan looked at the numbers on the screen. Revenue down, clients restless, staff divided. Martin leaned forward, smiling thinly. "The board wants a change," he said. "You've done enough, it's time for new energy." Alan did not answer. He closed the laptop slowly and walked out. Outside, the rain had just begun. The smell of wet asphalt filled the air. He walked to the elevator without looking back. Downstairs, the lobby was empty. He stood for a moment, then left through the revolving door. That night, he went home to his small apartment. Boxes of old project files filled the living room. On the table lay a photo of the two of them. Younger faces, same ambition. He turned the frame face down. Days passed. Martin took full control of the company. Emails stopped coming to Alan. Meetings went on without him. He was still listed as co-founder but excluded from every decision. Clients he had brought in were reassigned. Colleagues avoided eye contact when they met in the hallway. He worked quietly on his remaining contracts. No one noticed the small details he still managed. The software licenses under his name. The patents registered through his address. The servers paid from his personal account. One afternoon he met their accountant Claire. She looked uneasy. "Martin moved all major funds to a new account," she said. "He's planning to change ownership structure. He wants you to sell your shares for a symbolic sum." Alan nodded. "Let him think I will." That night he opened his laptop. He went through every document, every agreement they had signed. Clause by clause. The partnership deed. The original investment receipts. The clause that stated no ownership change could occur without mutual consent. He printed the key pages and placed them in a folder. Weeks later, Martin called a general meeting. He announced a new round of funding, a merger with an overseas firm. Alan sat quietly at the back of the room. Martin spoke about innovation and leadership. When it was done, he said, "Alan has agreed to transfer his shares." Everyone clapped politely. Alan stood. He walked to the front holding the folder. He said, "I have not agreed." The room fell silent. He handed a copy of the deed to the lawyer present. Clause 12, Section 4. No share transfer without both signatures. Martin's smile froze. He whispered, "We discussed this privately." Alan replied, "Nothing was signed, nothing was agreed." He left the room without waiting for a response. That evening the messages began. Martin called, texted, pleaded. "We can fix this," he wrote. Alan said, "We will let the documents decide." Days turned into weeks. The merger partners withdrew. The investors lost confidence. The company's credit line froze pending legal review. Martin blamed Alan in public. Alan said nothing. He spent his days in a rented office downtown. One desk, one chair, one computer. He worked on a new product. A smaller version of their old system, but faster, cleaner. He called it Slate. Claire visited, sometimes bringing updates. She said the board is collapsing. They're trying to sell assets to cover debts. Alan asked, "How are the staff?" She said, confused, frightened. He said, "Tell them I will take care of what's fair." Months passed. Martin's firm fell into silence. Emails stopped, servers shut down. Alan registered a new company under his own name. He hired 5 of the old developers. Paid them fairly, gave them clean contracts. Slate launched quietly. Within 6 months, clients began returning. They liked the stability. They liked the calm. One evening, Martin appeared at Alan's office. He looked thinner, eyes tired, suit wrinkled. He said, "You ruined me." Alan said, "I did not." "You ruined yourself." Martin sat down uninvited. He said we built that together. Alan said, and you tried to steal it? Martin looked at the floor. He said, I thought you'd fight louder. Alan said, silence carries farther. For a moment neither spoke. The hum of the air conditioner filled the room. Alan opened a drawer and took out a small box. Inside was a silver pen engraved with both their initials. He said, you gave me this once, remember? Martin nodded. Alan placed it on the table. Consider this the partner's gift, he said. The last trace of what we built. Martin stood up slowly. His hands trembled slightly. He said, do you hate me? Alan said, no. I just don't need you anymore. Martin left without another word. Outside, the rain began again. Alan watched from the window as the lights blurred across the glass. He turned off the lamp and sat quietly. Months later, the company grew steadily. No slogans, no noise, only work. Clients respected him. Employees trusted him. He arrived early each morning and left late. Every process clear, every payment honest. Claire once asked, do you ever miss the old days? Alan said, I miss the idea, not the people. At the end of the year, they held a small gathering. No champagne, just coffee and laughter. Someone said, this feels different. Alan smiled and said, because it's clean? When everyone left, he stayed alone. He walked through the quiet office, turning off lights. The hum of machines was steady like breathing. He stood by the window watching the city stretch under the night. Down below, cars moved through the wet streets. He thought of how far control could reach when handled without noise. Then he closed the blinds and locked the door. Later that week, he received an envelope. Inside was a single note from Martin. It said, thank you for proving what silence can do. No signature. He folded the note once, placed it in a drawer, and closed it. Years later, when reporters asked about his success, Alan always said it came from learning how to lose quietly. They never understood what he meant. They only saw the calm. The rain kept returning every season. Each time he watched it from the same window. Each time it sounded softer. He no longer thought about revenge or justice. He only thought about balance. The partner's gift had been taken, returned, and buried in silence.